Did you put me in the back room or not?
Oh, no, no, not yet. Oh, I did not. But here you are. Hi, this is Zena Krogadal. I am your American Dream Maker. And I'm so excited to have our first guest here on our show, Tom Ginn. He is our G-Force for today. And Tom, welcome to our show today. Thank you so much for being here. Will you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Absolutely. I just want to say I'm thankful and grateful to get to know you, be your very first. So I'm honored and excited for you at the same time. And so a little bit about myself. I live here in Wisconsin, near Madison, Wisconsin, in a community called Oconomowoc. It's known as the Hamptons of the Midwest. We live in lake country, so I'm blessed to be surrounded by about 15 lakes, no matter which direction I go. So it's a beautiful community to live in. Originally from California, born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. And a little bit about my professional career. I was in the financial services industry for nearly 30 years. Had my own insurance and securities agency, mortgage agency for that period of time. Love helping people win with money. So we're talking a little bit about your theme, Dream Makers. So it's always been my objective. The things I do in my businesses is help improve people's lives. And today I've transitioned and never changed that purpose in my life about helping people. But I just find companies and products and services that dramatically will improve people's lives, either financially or in the area of health. So that's sort of my mission. And I want to give thanks to Ken Walls. Kudos to him for creating the Grow Live Academy. I've been live streaming for almost 3 years now. My first program is G-Force. G is for gratitude. It's a principle I use in my coaching. I teach these principles out of this book. So we take gratitude for granted. It is very powerful what it does for us on our personal side, spiritually, physically, everything. Is get this book, Gratitude Works by Robert A. Emmons. I've been teaching these principles ever since I was introduced to this about 5 years ago. It's changed my life in a very significant way, having the appropriate mindset to deal with what goes on in our lives on a day-to-day period of time. So I hope that's filling in the blanks for you there, Zena. So
yeah, that's gosh, that's quite a lot of experience that you've had for sure, and that sounds fantastic. Now, Tom, I also understand you are also a veteran. Is that correct?
That is correct. I was served in the Army Reserves during the Vietnam era, and served our country in that capacity. Yes, thank you.
Well, I want to give you a very personal thank you because without your service in Vietnam, I would not be here today. I'm Vietnamese, and so personal thank you to you. And I am so glad that you are my first guest on this show because that's just awesome. So how can you maybe just a little bit here? Can you also maybe tell me how, or tell us how your experiences, all those things that you have done in the past are just pretty remarkable, pretty amazing. So I know you've got a wealth of knowledge that I'd love, for you to share with us some of it. But I also want to, kind of tail back. I know with veterans, my experience has been that there's lessons learned even as you've served our country. And I know Vietnam there is nothing easy about Vietnam whatsoever. So can you maybe tie in a little bit about maybe some lessons learned and how that has helped you in your life as time has gone on?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. I'll sort of backstep a little bit to get into this gratitude a little bit more. I was introduced to Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill's book, in 1983 when I was in the financial service industry. And it was the principles that have changed everything in my life, is understanding how we think and how to operate from that position. So to answer your question is, what did I come away with the military? It's just affirming how great our country is, being grateful that we have a constitution that allows us to be able to exercise our gifts and our attitudes and our beliefs freely without worry. So I'm so grateful for that opportunity to serve and protect and defend what I call the greatest document ever written for organizing a societies, our Constitution. So I don't take that lightly. I swore the oath. I've never given up on that oath ever since day one. I still serve in that capacity to protect and defend our Constitution. So I'm so grateful for what that experience gave me. From the time I put my hand up and swore in to basic training in AIT, and the many times I thought I was going to be activated to go overseas, which I never did. And I'm grateful for those that served in that capacity more than I can express, because they sacrificed a whole lot more in themselves, and many times giving up the ultimate sacrifice. So we owe everything to those that have made that commitment, even today, to protect our Constitution, what we're doing. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of idea about my convictions and my belief systems.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. That was very, just very deep and heartfelt. And I'm so glad that you are here. And you obviously have a great purpose, and you've been very impactful on many people's lives, as I can tell, I can hear, and just hearing your experience and your passion to share, and just it's very infectious. So thank you once again. So yes, can you also go ahead and elaborate a little bit more? Attitude of gratitude, being grateful and thankful. How does that really transform your life? Just having that little shift.
Well, first of all, if we understand that our minds can only hold one thought at one time, we can't hold a positive and a negative thought at the same time. So no matter what's going on in our lives, with the difficulties, disappointments, whatever, there's good in everything. If you just go to that point of the good and be grateful for this very moment. I believe this moment we got right now is the most important moment in my life, and I don't take it for granted, because I'm not guaranteed anything tomorrow or the next 10 seconds from now. I don't want to freak anybody out, but there's no guarantees that something couldn't happen to me while we're talking. So I'm very grateful for this moment, and that's what I've built everything around my life. It's changed everything when I've gone to a deeper sense of gratitude. It works on you spiritually, it works on physically, and just go to a place of gratitude in the time of difficulty and see how you feel. It changes everything. It changes your focus and your perception. So, and that's why I always refer to this book. A lot of science behind this book. It's a pretty profound workbook. It really takes us to a different level. We take gratitude for granted, like many things, just like breathing. After a while, we just arbitrarily say things out of habit, and people say, "How you doing?" Say, "I'm doing great today." Are we really? Or when we say thank you, are we really going to a place of gratitude? And I always like using this example, is that gratitude goes beyond just what you say in the moment, but where does gratitude really, how deep is it? Is if we become more grateful at a deeper level, life becomes more joyous, is in my opinion. I believe gratitude opens a gateway of spirituality that you have to experience yourself. But I always like to use this example, if you don't mind me sharing. So we go to the coffee shop, right? Mm-hmm. And we step up the counter, we order coffee or a latte or whatever our favorite drink is when we go to a coffee shop, and the barista brings back a drink and we say thank you, and that's generally what we do. But if you really take it to a deeper level in everything that we do, you got to be grateful for the fact that you have a barista there. What did that person have to do to get there to serve you? Had to get up early in the morning, had to get the kids off to, fed and taken care of, getting the husband out the door, all those things, traveling through snow or whatever the case may be in traffic, do we really think that deep? Do we really think that deep of gratitude about the barista's ownership, who owns the store, what they're doing, the sacrifice they made, all the way down to where did the coffee beans come from, going all the way down to the person that grew the beans, what did they do to bring that cup of coffee to you? If we go deep in those areas, our gratitude perspective goes deeper. There's more to it than just on the service. Thank you for bringing me my coffee or making the coffee. What did other people have to sacrifice to bring us what they delivered to us? And I think when we go to that place, in a contemplative way, we just value things more importantly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that is, and that's great practical example. Hi, Joe. Thank you for showing up today. Welcome. Let us know if you have any questions in the chat too, Joe. So just wanted to say hello. Yes, I think that's fantastic that you gave such a practical example because, especially since I feel like since COVID and we all were kind of shut down and things were obviously just spun into chaos. Some of us, when we came out into socialization again, it's like we forgot our socialization skills. And it seemed like people were less patient with people. And I like the example that you gave about the barista because suddenly we would get very agitated. It seemed like people would just be very easily agitated and annoyed and impatient and forgetting, like you said, to be grateful that, hey, we get to be out and about now and we get to enjoy a cup of coffee and what it took to get this coffee served to us. So I thank you so much for that. I do have another question. So can you give us a little, maybe some daily practices that we can do? Because like I think you had mentioned that, we can say, yes, I'm doing fine, but that's kind of on the surface of I'm doing fine and I'm grateful. But is there a way to dig even deeper and go deeper with our gratitude to where it really ends up transforming our lives and in our attitude, and just from where we don't even have to make a huge effort, but it just becomes part of who we are?
I think it's like anything else that we learn. We need to learn the principles of gratitude, and that's through discipline and repetitiveness. In this book, they talk about the world record of writing down a gratitude statement for 50 straight years, never missed a day. Listen, this is pretty deep. We think about it. For 50 straight days, wrote something they were grateful about. Never replicated or duplicated a gratitude statement, but they always tied it with a why. And I always think about what was that discipline about to get to a state to recognize why they did that daily, because they recognize the benefit of gratitude by practicing it. And if you practice it, is writing it every day. Take one or two things you're really grateful and say why. Why am I grateful for my cup of coffee? Why am I grateful for this moment? And then it takes it to a whole different level. I just believe the person that did that for 50 straight years, never replicated or duplicated a gratitude statement, is an amazing feat. I believe that person walked this earth with a whole different perspective of what life is about from a perspective of gratitude. So what would I say to build a better attitude of gratitude is practice it and do the little things. It sounds, many times people think, well, that's why write it? I already got it in my head. No, there's something happens when we write. This is your genius factor. This is the conduit to make things happen in your life, is write it down. It embeds it in your mind in a different way. So write it out and make sure that you say why you're grateful for whatever it is, and do that daily and watch what happens. It's a discipline like anything else. You can't get better at anything until you make a commitment to do something over and over again. And then it becomes habitual. It becomes part of your life. And I have gratitude statements all around me all day long. So I'm always reading what I'm grateful for. My overall mission statement as well. Why I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be here today to serve and make somebody else's life better. So I'm grateful for that.
Thank you. I'm grateful for you being here as well and sharing your knowledge and your wisdom in all of this. I know that there's somebody out there that will need to hear this, and just having that practical, I really like that you had such a practical thing to write it down and not to just say it, but to make sure it's written down. That's a great reminder for sure. So with all the experiences that you have had, what lessons have you learned? What highlights? Maybe pick one or two. What highlights would you want to share with us that you've learned over the years, and giving us maybe some takeaways?
Well, it really came on my journey when I started doing personal development, exploring that and doing the work. Our success in life is a gift that takes discipline to learn, and a lot of people out there that are in the personal development industry talk about your goals and those type of things. I've taken it to a different level. I studied under a gentleman called Dr. Miles Monroe, and the key thing that changed besides gratitude is understanding your power, your vision, your why in life. Why are you walking this earth? What's your purpose? And get clear on a clear mental picture of the outcome that you seek in a positive way. Because goals by themselves don't work. If you got to have an emotional attachment to an outcome that you haven't realized yet and believe it's going to happen, having faith. And so that's a principle I learned from Dr. Miles Monroe. You could Google him on YouTube channel or whatever the case is and listen to his talk about the power of vision. And he's written a book on it as well. It's pretty powerful. We hear it all the time, what's your why? But he paints it in a way that it resonates at a deep emotional level. That's where things change in our lives when we have an emotional attachment to it. So that comes from being around mentors and people that have lived it, walked it, and do it. That's sort of been my motto, is finding those people that are doing it and then just do what they do. And it's amazing the types of results you get. So number one, know why you're here. I'm a big Simon Sinek guy. Your why is more important than what you do and how you do it. Why do you do what you do? Not just in your avocation or your business, but everything in life. Categorize everything in your life and identify your why to it, whether it be your health why, your business why, your family why. When you get clear on that, you have the vision of the outcome, how you want it to end up. Nothing gets in your way. It gives you the fortitude necessary to accomplish your mission in life. So hope that helped you as well.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, Ken. Welcome. So
is that
great.
Ken Walls?
It's Ken Walls, the Ken Walls. He's here. Now I'm really nervous. But anyways, thanks for joining us.
Doing a great job. She took the challenge, and I'm her first guest. So here we are.
Thank you so much, Tom. I really appreciate you sharing those things and finding your purpose and understanding your purpose. I think for a lot of people, like even for myself, sometimes there's many thoughts that go through our heads, like when we start to kind of feel very creative or we're in a transition of our life, and there's all sorts of ideas pop in and all these things that we want to do and be. Like I always tell people, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. And so with somebody like me, I'm certainly, I would imagine that I'm not the only one that feels this way. How would you recommend we really tail it in and hone it in so that we can focus and truly find that purpose? Are there real practical steps in doing that, or we just got to pray, wait and see?
No, there's no praying and waiting and see. Nothing happens in our lives. Everything operates by law. You have to be in a place of cognitive awareness, a spiritual awareness, and then take action. You just mentioned a lot of things going on in your brain. When you get clear on a vision and purpose in life, your negatives start dropping, or you recognize them, and then you can deflect them out of your thinking. And that's very important for people to understand, is when you're clear, the negatives become very clear, and you can just squash them with a compliment of gratitude. What are you coming away with at this moment? It changes everything.
Wow. Well,
Hey, Joe,
thank you.
thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you so much for definitely being on here and watching this. Tom is obviously a real expert and master at this. And Tom, just watching you and seeing your demeanor, I can see that you have you're speaking from the heart. This isn't just something you just read.
Right.
This is something that you really have practiced and you're sharing. And so that is just invaluable. And so I'm very, very grateful to that, for you to be here to share that.
Thank you.
Tom, is there anything else you would like to tell us? What's the most fun memory you have that you have done in your life?
That would probably be many, many things. But I think a lot of people are seeking. I always get, I'll just sort of, hopefully this doesn't take it off what you just asked, is people are seeking happiness. I think that's the wrong thing. That's temporary. You can create happiness just instantaneous. Think about something. I think what we're really seeking in life is joy in our lives. And I like to use this example. I'm 73 this next month. I've had 73 happy birthdays, but there's only about 5 of them that are joyous. And that's what we're seeking in life. What made those 5 birthdays so joyous was I had a special relationship with my aunt. And when she'd show up for my birthday, they were the most precious birthdays I had. So I've had a lot of happy birthdays, but I don't remember the others. I only remember the joyous ones. And so be clear on what brings you joy and cherish it, because happiness is something that come and go just like that. And so we're really, I believe, if we get to a place of being clear on your purpose, your why, being grateful, joy starts showing up more frequently, and we can celebrate our lives with joy. If you, in scripture, there's never any discussion about happiness. It's all about joy in our celebration. So I think how we operate today is not just thoughts, but I think there's a spiritual laws that guide us as well. And when we get tuned into those, everything changes. So just throwing myself out there to everybody. So.
Wow, that's great. So you were saying you have the five birthdays that you found joy. Is that correct?
Yeah, 5 of them when they were the most joyous birthdays that I ever had, is when she was there. My special aunt. She meant a lot to me. She was a great mentor, great guide in my life. Is like my second mother in a way. So when she would show up to my birthday, they were the most special. They brought joy, not just happiness. I've had a lot of happy birthdays, but my entire life, there's only 4 or 5 that I can really recall, and it was all around her. So I think that's what we're seeking, is true joy in life.
So I'm curious then, your aunt sounds like an extremely special lady. What was it about her that really, I guess, brought that joy? Was it something in particular? The way she spoke to you, the way, is there something in particular that you could say, what, I guess, paint the picture of who she is just real quickly here?
It's my Aunt Gladys. I give her name. So she's looking down on us right now. So what she was is, I had 2 learning disabilities. So I was always struggling in schools. I had poor self-image, self-esteem issues around these 2 disabilities, or that I had that wasn't diagnosed until later in life. But she understood and made me feel special and worthy and capable. She was always there to support me and encourage me, and not knowing what was really going on with my learning disabilities I had at that time. Still have them today, but I've learned to deal with them. But it just knowing that she accepted me who I was, the way I was, and I think that's so important. That's what I came away with. So made me feel special and powerful at the same time.
Wow, that's fantastic. Like I said, she sounds like an amazing woman, and we could all use someone like Aunt Gladys.
Yeah.
In our lives, right?
Yeah.
And so, and that part of the vision of American Dream Makers group that I have here in the show is that I wanted it to be a place where we could, inspire and help influence the world, and just to be transformed and to do it together, to share those ideas and that sort of thing. So I want to ask you, how do you make the American dream a reality for others?
How do I make that happen? Number one, I live my own dream. I want to be the inspiration. That's if he's doing it, I can do it as well. So I learned to be as authentic as I can and don't hold back and just let my excitement, enthusiasm show. So that's how you make dreams. That's how you can make a difference in the world, is share your gifts. Don't hold them back. Be excited, enthused about what you do and why you do what you do. So.
Well, thank you so much. How would someone get a hold of you if they would like to have more nuggets of wisdom from Tom Ginn?
Well, they can go to my Facebook and they can message me there, Tom Ginn. You can find me there. I can, if you'd like, I can put my email out there as well. If you want me to put it in the chat and you can copy and paste it out there.
Yeah, that would be great. Appreciate that. Tom, you are an amazing person. I just want to say I'm so grateful and thankful that you were my first guest on this show. And like I said, I feel like it's a little full circle for myself, coming from Vietnam, and my family immigrated in 1975. And thank you so much for serving with all of your heart, and the sacrifices that you made while you were there and when you came home. And then you didn't let those things bring you down, but you overcame many of the obstacles that, many veterans. So I'd like to have you on here another time, and, maybe we can chat a little bit more about maybe some of the experiences that you may have had, and how maybe other veterans, might be able to overcome, because I know a lot of veterans coming from the Vietnam War that have just really, really struggled trying to get back, getting that mindset and getting back on their feet and stuff. And so anyways, if you are open to that, I'd love to have you back at another time. And you guys definitely get a hold of Tom Ginn. He is amazing, and he has helped so many people, hundreds of people, right, Tom? Thousands?
Yeah.
Are you in the thousands?
If I would take my entire avocation, my business career, probably thousands of people I've made a difference. It's countless. So when you've done something, I'll just share this with you, is go out into the world with your gift and and just put it out there. You never know who you're going to impact and make a difference in their lives. When I was in the financial service industry, I don't know how many hundreds of people or thousands of people that my company and myself changed people's lives financially by giving the foundation of what it takes to win in the traditional way financially, building the right relationship with money and those type of things. One of the greatest gifts I've ever had was here about 2 years ago. I get an email. It was first of all started with a Facebook chat saying, I've been trying to find you for 15 years and I found you. I'd like to have a conversation with you. So we hooked up, got on the phone, and he says, Tom, it was because of you. You changed my life. You changed my family's life forever. And that's the greatest compliment you have, when you go out and it comes back to you in that way. Because as I said, if it wasn't for you giving me the guidance and setting a foundation, I don't know where I'd be financially today. So that's the greatest compliment or the greatest gift you have, when people seek you out and let you know through gratitude that you made a difference in their lives. So that made a big impact on me in understanding the power of gratitude. Go out and share your gratitude with other people. Let people know that that they've impacted you, and whatever it is they do, and that goes a long way. We need to hear that we're just not taken for granted. So, and our gifts are out there working, and that was a great blessing. That brought joy to me. So I'll never forget that. Reach out. So that comes from a principle of gratitude. He sought it out. He recognized it, and he went out and wanted to share back to me the difference I made in him and his family's life financially. So goes back to gratitude. Gratitude is power.
Yes.
Gratitude powers our potential when we really get down to it. So
awesome. You guys, Tom Ginn, I just want to give you a hand.
Well, I want to give you a hand. Me being your first guest, that's setting up. I hope I meet your expectation, but congratulations taking the step to get out here, take the challenge, start streaming, getting out there. You're going to make a difference in people's lives. So don't hold back. Just put it out there. Be clear on what you want to do with this.
Yeah. Gratitude is power, and it that is an amazing thing to hold close to our hearts, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here again. I know you're a very, very busy guy, and I thank you so much for being my first guest. And and when I have you back again, it's going to be even better. So because I'll be even better, and I'll have anyways, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, everybody who showed up today. Really appreciate you guys, and absolutely get a hold of Tom Ginn. He is on Facebook. He's on social media. He's a fantastic guy. So bye-bye for now, and we'll see you next time. All right.
Thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Share.
Right. Yes, definitely. Please share, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.